This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the new Prologue EV, there's a lot that could impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Pat, I got to try something.
All right, let's go.
Rook and Reavers. Kenny will know.
Yes, sir.
Do you know who Roger Bannister was?
Yes.
Hell yes.
4 Minute Mile.
Okay, Rook didn't answer. He gave me the blank
I don't know
stare.
that I would have got that.
All right.
Well, I was 8 years old when it happened, and it was the equivalent in 1954 of Neil Armstrong walking on the moon.
Yes, it was.
It was fantastically large news because people had been pursuing it now for about 3 years and trying to set up races where it could happen, and then nobody could ever make it, and finally he made it. And now I believe it's 3:43.
Yep.
So.
That's my next question.
He had a long and distinguished career in neurology.
Yes, he was I read, did you read the little thing about him? He worked a shift at the hospital in the morning.
Yep.
Then he went in and sharpened his spikes at some little lab in the hospital.
Yep.
And then he took a train out to Oxford where he was going to run it, and he ate a little lunch, and then he went out and participated in the race. And they did have it set up, so there were a couple of rabbits, guys, that went out fast to drive him to it, which is not totally kosher, but close enough in 1954. But yes, he was a very, and he became a sir, I think, as much for his medical achievements as his athletic achievements.
So we've only shaved about, what'd you say, 17
seconds off.
Why do you bring it up? Did he pass?
Yeah, he died at 88.
Yes. But it was huge. I mean, it was. I remember it as a kid. It was like all anybody talked about can you imagine?
Guy broke the 4 minute mile.
A person running a mile in less than 4 minutes. And of course, now very few of the races are. They're all 1,500 meters. They're all the metric mile now, which is shorter. But back then in this country and most places around the world, the non-Olympic type of events were run. There was a mile run. That was the. That was the distance.
And then he got ripped by the press for failing to medal in the Olympics. He finished fourth. And they thought he was
56 in Helsinki.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, the 56 was Helsinki. Yes, I looked it up. I looked up to see who won in Helsinki, and I think a Norwegian won or something like that.
But that would have been 1,500 meters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he finished fourth.
1,500 meter, and he finished fourth, right?
You're right, though. It was a big, big deal.
Oh, yeah. There was a famous, now this guy ran longer distances, but he was trying to do it too, a famous Finlander, Paavo Nurmi, in the early 50s. And Wes Santee from Kansas was a guy who was trying to always get there but couldn't get there. And then I think when Roger Bannister won it, if you were a track person, you've heard of him, but he wasn't one of the famous runners in the world at that time.
Who was the American who overcame getting burned? What story am I thinking of? Became a famous runner? What am I thinking of? Look that up, please, on the Google.
I have a question. When Bannister was running, was there a guy named Barry chasing him?
No, not to my knowledge.
That would have been a 2 minute mile.
I don't know. I have seen a photo of Barry, and I don't think that Roger Bannister would have had any trouble outrunning him. I think he would have whipped him. Yeah.
I have it in my mind that there was a famous, I want to say
Glenn Cunningham?
Glenn Cunningham. What? Tell me.
Okay, he was.
He was trying to get the 4-minute mile, too.
Accomplishments. Cunningham completed the 1,500-meter event in the 1932 and 36 Summer Olympics, finished 4th and 2nd, respectively. While on the ship traveling from U.S. to Germany in 36, he was voted most popular athlete. Where does it say about burning? Cunningham his unachieved goal was the 4-minute mile.
Unachieved.
He never made it.
No,
As a youth, I think he was hurt in a fire.
What about Jesse Owens? Where does he figure in all this? That's the only.
Okay, well,
he only ran 100. He only ran 100 and 200 meters. Kenny.
Okay.
That was
Cunningham was
a little short.
born in Atlanta, Kansas. Grew up in Elkhart, Kansas.
Yep.
His legs were very badly burned
God,
in
my
an
memory's
explosion
amazing.
caused.
Why though? How do you know this?
I just remember this for some reason.
Why are you laughing?
His legs
now?
were very badly burned in an explosion caused when his friend buried.
Can't you be straight for 30 seconds?
It's impossible.
No, when
At
someone
the
actually
on the
put
farm?
gasoline instead of kerosene in the can at his schoolhouse when he was 8 and his brother Floyd was 13.
Yep.
Oh boy, Floyd died in the fire.
So to run a 4-minute mile, are you sprinting the whole time? I mean, are you going flat out?
No.
You've got to pace yourself.
Yes, yeah, they did. And back then, Kenny, back in the 50s, even into the 60s, even the 800 meters was run at pace. They wouldn't kick it until the end. Now these guys, 800 meters, they go out and basically run like idiots the whole time. They pace themselves a little bit.
Oh, this even gets better. When the doctors recommended amputating his legs, he was so distressed his parents would not allow it. The doctors predicted he might never walk normally again. He had lost all of the flesh on his knees and shins and all the toes on his left foot.
Glenn Cunningham.
Also, his traverse arch was practically destroyed.
Yeah, and he became a runner. Yeah.
Okay.
Became a great runner.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good memory. That should have been a movie, shouldn't it?
It probably
Yeah,
was.
it probably was.
Probably was. I'm sure it was a book. That's where I probably got it. It was from a book.
Okay, speaking of movies,
Yeah.
did we really give the Academy Award to a deformed carp having sex with a mute woman?
I'm unaware
That's
of
the shape. Is that what the shape of water is about?
That's
How do you
it's
have
a
sex with
beauty
a carp?
It's a no.
Reavers, tell us.
It's a guy
Right.
that comes out of the water. It's a monster that comes out. It's the Beauty and the Beast, King Kong, Phantom of the Opera, same crap. I can't believe they gave it to this. I won't go to it. I saw the previews and I said no chance.
In fact, Patrick, upon the decision that what is it, The Shape of Water had
Shape of
won,
Water,
there are
yeah.
several people that wanted to change the name to Grinding Nemo.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that we actually.
I'm surprised you didn't go see it, Pat, because your taste in movies, quite frankly, stinks. And you'll go see virtually anything. You went to see the Billboards movie. You must
Oh, it
think
was
Frances
terrific.
deserved that, though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm happy with Rockwell and her winning.
Okay.
But I would have taken Lady Bird as the Academy Award winner.
Apparently
I shouldn't really rip this one. I haven't seen it. I just saw the free previews like 7 different times and said,
The minute Gary Oldman won, he got the social media feedback because apparently he hit a woman with a telephone or something. I don't know.
years ago.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of agreed with somebody who said Oldman should have won for best impersonation. But, he was good. He was good. So
Apparently, the television ratings were awful, lowest in
no
years.
kidding. No kidding.
Well, who wants to
that.
watch a bunch of these morons yell at us?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. We did not have any Oscar talk on the show.
Did
Well,
you
it
watch
is-
it, Pat? Was it
it is-
political?
Oh yeah, but I didn't watch a lot of it. It's too hard to pace as to when they're going to announce an award that you might actually be interested in. There's only about 6 of them, right? And then you got to go through all the other.
They should put a program out. Like when you go to church,
Yeah,
you
right.
get a program
Yeah,
so you know where you're at in the
when
hour.
the races start. Well, you go to a swimming meet. They tell
Yeah.
you what time the races start. And that's
Okay, I
right,
only have
yeah.
to sit through 2 more hymns, a prayer, and then the benediction, and then we're out of
Then
here.
we'll find out who. Was
Kenny,
the
I
best
told you
actor.
my famous story, didn't I? I've told Pat this. When the kids I used to have were in dance class, they have a big recital at the end of the year, and you got a program. You see your kid's going to be number 4, and then number
52.
42nd.
Yeah, right.
Let me
So I'd
guess.
go to a watering hole that I frequented, and the guy said, Dance recital? I said, yep.
Join the rest of the dads over there.
Well, we got to take a break already, Patrick.
All right.
All right, just a moment. Here we go. The Feisty Wild beat the Red Wings last night.
And we had an old-time hockey brawl there. Nick Seeler and this Witkowski, who's a properly named bad guy for the other team, right? Witkowski with a big bushy beard.
The helmets were off. They were pounding each other right in the face.
That was
Big
big
swings.
time.
Big swings.
It was in Donnybrook. You know where the word Donnybrook comes from?
No, I don't.
Donnybrook was a fair outside
Dublin,
Ireland, that was known for its descending into drunken brawls.
It was like lumberjack days, Patrick.
yeah. It's like a softer lumberjack days.
So the term entered the lexicon. It's a Donnybrook, a brawl, a fight,
Free
whatever.
for all.
Yeah,
And of course, Brainerd International Raceway was originally Donnybrook.
Oh,
Donnybrook,
right.
Named in honor of two friends of George Montgomery, the owner, who had died in crashes.
I was talking to Judd this morning off the air about this inspirational comeback, and he says these guys are so flaky that he believes that fight is what drove them to victory. Yeah. Because they're so mentally unsound that they need some inspiration, and this fight did it, and they came from behind and beat these guys.
Well,
was the kid brought up?
It was only 1-0 against a lousy team, but that's okay.
Was the kid brought up just to be a troublemaker?
Well, he's a tough kid, yeah. Eden Prairie, he was out there at Eden Prairie when they won the two state titles in 09 and 11, and he played with Nicoletti and he played with Kyle
Let me ask you guys something. If you get your face pounded in like that, aren't you going to be sitting in the penalty box just crying like a baby? I know I am. I'm just going to be nonstop tears.
Wait, I got to go back out there?
Well, you don't want to end up...
I quit.
You don't want to end up with concussions. I mean, look at Bugard.
Yeah,
you don't want to be.
A lot of the tough there has been a lot of. Now, I don't think this kid is going to be goon.
No.
He's
can he
to fight?
Can he skate?
He was mad. Apparently, this guy went knee to knee with Parisi. Is that it? Which got it all started. So, but
so it was a protective.
He's a bit
role.
of an enforcer. Yeah.
I had some horrible hockey news over the weekend.
What happened?
The granddaughter got a bunch of goals.
Oh.
The grandson got a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be spending my winters
Yes,
back
you
home.
are.
See you later,
Yes, you are.
Freezing my ass off, going to hockey games.
Hot dogs, popcorn.
You'll be running the concession stand.
Parking
Volunteer
miles
time.
away, parking miles away. Why didn't they just stay in Florida like nice kids that they could have been?
How would
Come
Pat
down,
make
you
as a
visit 'em
concession
every
guy,
once in a
Rook? How would
while.
Pat make as a concession guy at a local hockey arena?
Here's your coffee. Shut up and get out of here, Pete. We got a line here. Let's go. This is the Krabby Coffee Arena.
Stop asking me questions. Stop it.
I don't know how much time's left.
I don't know where the cups are. I don't know.
Pat, old Phil won a tournament.
Oh man, he's been playing. He's top 10 the last 5 times he's played or something.
Playing great.
I love the fact that he thought his playing partner was a member of the media. Did you guys see that?
No.
The guy, I forget who he was playing with yesterday, but the guy approached him like, "Hi, Phil." They apparently had never met before. He said, "Hi, Phil. Hey, wait till after the round, pal."
Yeah.
Not realizing it was the guy he was playing the round with.
That reminds me of a sports writer we know.
Well, it wasn't it Russia Basha Russia, the Indian guy?
No.
I'll have to look it up who he was playing with. I'll
It
find
was
here in a second.
some of that little dweeby-looking kid. That,
Oh, Tyrell Hatton, maybe?
I'm not sure. They had one guy there that was kind of a dorky-looking kid.
I can tell you who that was because we're fact-based.
Hey, excuse me, sir. I don't have any money. Just keep walking. I don't have anything to
I
give
think it
you.
was
But
Tyrell
sir,
Hatton.
I really like your car.
Oh, yeah, thanks. See you later.
He didn't say sir. He said, "Hey, I was just going to tell you I thought that was a nice-looking car."
You fat bastard.
Phil mistook Shubnankar Sharma for the media.
He did.
He said,
So
"Not
it was-
right now. Wait till after the round."
And it was the Indian kid, the kid from
Welcome,
India
son.
who
Wasn't
he
he
led
leading?
for like 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Sharma. Okay.
Then he took his hat off and feels like, oh, God, I'm sorry. He did that whole thing. It was very, very funny. He played it off really well.
Well,
that was worth $1.7 million to win that title.
Man, why don't they play golf? Get your grandkids to play golf, Patrick.
You know who put that whole deal together down there and lined up all the sponsors and everything? Hollis Cavner.
Really?
Yeah, when they were leaving Trump's golf course, this event, and they needed a place to go, and he hooked himself up with this billionaire from New Mexico City, and apparently the billionaire got all his billionaire buddies to support the thing, and it's been a raging success 2 years in a row.
Somebody named Gavin Kyle Green finished last. There was no cut in this.
Mm-hmm.
He made $51,500, dead last.
Wow.
It was a nice payday for the top 64 in the world.
Yes, it
Holy
was.
mackerel.
And the ball goes a long way. It's 7,200 feet or whatever it is. There, so.
The course looked really nice, too.
It did.
I watched a fair amount.
It was built in 1921.
I was going to say it's been there forever. Yeah.
Chapultepec Golf Club.
Chipotle Peck? Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite part, though, I have to say this, was when they came off that 18th tee. And I mean, it's predictable, but you hear,
No, you did not hear that.
hey,
Well, that's
Maybe not.
better. That's better than another Barry joke. I
Right.
thought we were going to get one of those.
How are your Twins doing?
Last they are up in
They lost
Clearwater today. They were losing 4-2, I think, late in the game. Was it 4-2?
4-3 was the final
Playing
today.
the
We
hated
fought
who?
back. It was 4-0.
The Phils, baby.
The hated
The
Phillies?
Phillies.
Yeah.
The nobody brings anybody to road games anymore. The Twins hardly took anybody up there, and
Come on, Robbie Grossman was your 3-hitter today.
Robbie hadn't played for about 3-4 days. I don't know. They only play him on road games. I
Yeah,
guess.
Robbie and Kenny were the only two regulars.
Has the first baseman made his debut?
Oh yeah, he's played.
Mm-hmm.
He's unbeaten in home games. I think he's played them all. I think he's played all the home games.
But he
He's
doesn't have
just-
to go on the road?
He is just full of life and energy and good times this spring. I think after having a good year last year, he's feeling pretty good. And if this is the last year, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't believe that he wouldn't want to come back. What else is he going to do?
yeah, he's got a pair of twins who might turn out to be hockey players. Who the
That's
hell
true.
knows? And then that's a full-time job. So.
Timberwolves don't play again until Thursday.
Boy, they needed this break too. But I'm surprised they haven't signed anybody there. Some veteran to help them out here without Butler. But they haven't done anything yet. So.
Boy, they left you with a nice, quiet ballpark today, didn't they?
Oh, just me and the Crows.
Oh, you should have heard him yelling at the Crows off the air.
Get out of here!
Well, one of them damn near came in here.
I saw a video of a crow today saying hello to a squirrel, and it actually said hello.
how do these animals talk?
Well, it did, and then it said, "Can I share your peanuts with you?" And then they had that going.
You could do a crow study down here because
I
right about
could.
this time every day in the empty ballpark
Love
they
'em.
come in and take it over.
Sports Talk will return shortly, but now thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota, at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now.
And we had a pretty good day. Stocks rallied to start the week as concerns about a possible global trade war eased just a bit. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 336 points to close at 24,874. The Dow is now back in positive territory for the year. The Nasdaq Composite rose 72 points and the S&P 500 gained 29. Shares of Plymouth fertilizer maker Mosaic rose 4.5% after Cowen and Company upgraded the stock. Amazon is in talks with big banks about building a checking account-like product that it could offer its customers. The talks are focused on creating a bank-like product that would appeal to younger customers and those who don't have traditional bank accounts. And candy giant Mars is rolling out something entirely new for M&M's lovers. It's not a new flavor. It's a mix bag containing 3 types of M&M's in the same bag. You'll get regular, peanut, and crispy. I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, Bruce, thank you very much. We'll chat again tomorrow. We're going to check traffic here. This one Sponsored by Indeed, and sure enough, this snow is moving into the Twin Cities right now. We're seeing very light levels, but also very slow speeds, so conditions are deteriorating quickly. Eastbound 62 and eastbound 494, they're both way off the pace, 100 over to Penn or so. If you're rolling between the downtowns, 94 eastbound at 12 minutes and rising. Looks like we have a little bit of a delay right around Cretin. Westbound between still looking good, and eastbound 36 semi-sketchy from 35W to Rice. Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
Hey,
John
Rookie.
Height.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
Rookie, I just had a thought.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it about Barry?
No, I bet Nick Seeler is Sophia's favorite new player, right? She kind of models her game after
Yeah, I've got just a firecracker right off the ice, and bam,
a good goon. That's
a good scrapper.
Yes.
Sophia did have more penalty minutes than anything else.
Well, that's something to be proud of.
How much does it take to provoke her? I mean, will she put up with so much for only so long, or is it gloves off right away?
On the ice, it's the first time she's wronged, she's on.
Right
the
away.
coach said at her banquet, said Sophia would come off the ice and she would have been growling at a girl. So Sophia said, I wanted to make that girl think I was a little crazy, so then she would be looking out for me next time I approached her on the ice. As I said,
All she'd have to do is tell them who her dad is.
start barking. Go, ruff, ruff, and they think you're nuts.
Yeah.
Light snow and 33 degrees. Speaking of the Wild, they defeated Detroit 4-1 yesterday. We've just found out, remember Luke Kunin got hurt in that game? He will be out the rest of the season, they just announced. He suffered a torn ACL.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Yeah, he'll
They
miss
just made room for him by making that trade.
That's lower body injury.
Yes, it is. He's expected to have surgery, repair his knee in the coming weeks, and will return to play, they say, in about 7 months.
Wow. So they got to get that big goon from Boston U in here then, Jordan Greenway.
The Wild will host Carolina tomorrow night.
Do they own any rights for any Gopher players? They can sign those guys. They're cooked for the
Did
year.
they lose again to
was
Penn
me.
State?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but they're still in the tournament.
Come
they're
on.
Still gonna make they will need like 3 upsets in the playoffs to not make it. They're still 13th in the pairwise.
I watched those mutts on Saturday. They have no business playing in the tournament. What a pathetic effort that was on Saturday.
Twins lose to the Phillies this afternoon, 4-3. Kyle Gibson started. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits and 1 run. Gregorio Petit with a home run for the Twins. The Twins will play Baltimore
You
tomorrow.
guys just sit around all weekend watching TV?
You know, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing
Pretty
when
much.
he said it.
Pretty much.
Wow. You don't feel any sense of regret like you wasted
Well,
your...
no, once in a while I'll send a text to Rook or whatever, but that's about it.
But it doesn't feel like you're wasting your life?
No.
When you hit a certain age, you'll
It
feel
will.
like you're wasting your life.
I get
trust me.
really angry if I don't leave town every weekend. It just drives me crazy.
Too much
went
time
out
around the
to-
fam. Is
No.
that
I went out to the beach with Linneman and ogled young ladies. How about that?
That's something. That's something.
there you go.
That's something,
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm sure after you
Yeah, I
have
stayed,
your...
stayed a respectable distance away. 'Cause,
did you
know,
whistle
when
and
you're-
catcall?
No, not in modern. I just didn't want to get arrested.
Reavers, after you have a couple of heart attacks, maybe that'll change.
Probably.
You won't
Yeah,
wanna
my
sit around
perspective on
anymore.
life will change. Yeah, probably.
News notes from today. A man who evaded police during a search that lasted all of this morning has been taken into custody this afternoon.
Wow, what a police chase that was.
Wyoming Police Chief Paul Hobby said Jesse Lee Sater was arrested after the vehicle into which he was fleeing from Forest Lake police officers crashed at Interstate 35W and County Road 23 in Lino Lakes at about 12:30 this afternoon. This all started, as Kenny alluded to there, when Wyoming police reportedly pulled over a vehicle for not having lights on about 3:30 this morning. Hobby said the traffic stop, a male suspect with warrant, Sater was in the passenger seat with a female behind the wheel. Sater is alleged to have pushed the female out of the vehicle, then rammed a police squad car as he tried to flee.
Oh, there wasn't a physical altercation?
No.
Oh.
Just he pushed the gal out and took off.
All right.
Well,
I
I
would
think
say
that
the gal
relation.
thought there was a physical
Yes.
altercation.
I think that relationship is on the rocks here now. That sorry, honey, I got to throw you out of the car.
An officer at the scene suffered minor injuries. The chase continued on to Forest Lake. That would be the actual lake, not the city, which is in the same area, where Sater allegedly abandoned the vehicle, fled on foot across the ice, successfully getting away from police. And at about 8:30 this morning, police received a tip that Sater may have entered the Forest Lake Walmart. The store was emptied and swept by police, but he was not found. About 12:30 this afternoon, Forest Lake police observed him getting into a vehicle as a passenger. When officers tried to pull over the vehicle, he is alleged to have jumped behind the wheel and taken off again. That chase ended with a crash in Lino Lake. Sater is currently being evaluated at the hospital.
I was able to watch a little bit of that. They were on Minnesota 97. You know where that crosses over 35 westbound, and that turns into Lake Drive and turns into County 23, and they ended up crashing right by that McDonald's on County 23 and 35W.
This thing went on for hours, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he was unaccounted for 6 hours or so.
A good portion. Yeah. Meanwhile, State Patrol has confirmed an officer-involved shooting on I-94 West about 3 miles east of Moorhead today. According to a release from the Department of Public Safety, the incident took place around 10:30 this morning. State trooper reportedly arrived on the scene and found a vehicle that had lost control hitting the median barrier. Trooper then made contact with the vehicle's two occupants, a male and a female. The release says that at some point during the encounter, the trooper discharged the weapon, striking the female, who's alleged to have fled into a nearby field before she was later located. The male passenger taken into custody, the female transported to Essentia Hospital in Fargo. Release also said another firearm was recovered at the scene. Trooper involved was not injured, has been placed on standard paid leave as procedure calls for.
John, what is going on in our state's roads here with all these crazy people trying to run away from the cops?
The one that really bothers all of us is this jackass that beat this old man within inches of his life. I really, really wish.
Have we found him yet?
I wish somebody would have the balls to come forward and turn this guy in, because he's shooting his mouth off about it somewhere. And isn't that up in your neck of the woods?
That's very
John?
close to my home, yes.
A little bit north of you?
Ham Lake there.
Well, Kenny, I asked this earlier, but if you're a 30-year-old guy and you follow this and you realize it's Grandpa Wilson, don't you just walk away?
Number one, you don't get in these altercations.
You're right.
Number
you're
two,
right.
you don't follow anybody ever. But yeah, number three, absolutely, Chris. Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
He needs jail time and a lot of it. And I know somebody knows this guy. You got to turn this guy in.
Some folks are questioning a billionaire investor and former presidential advisor for unloading about $31 million in a steel-related stock company.
This is a great one.
Just days before President Trump announced he'd impose steep tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum, news that, of course, sent the stock markets and especially steel markets tumbling around the world. Beginning February 12th and February 22nd, three of Carl Icahn's companies happened to place 4 sell orders amounting to $31,277,000, according to a Securities and Exchange Commission filing.
I don't think there's anything crooked there.
At the time.
Carl, do you really need $31 million? He's got like several billion.
He's a rich fella.
Yeah.
At the time, Icahn owned more than 5% of Manitowoc Company Inc.'s shares. They're the leading global manufacturer of cranes and lifting solutions based in Wisconsin. The powerful nor'easter that hit the East Coast last week has uncovered a piece of history in Maine.
Oh, good.
The York Police Department posted photos on their Facebook page of an old ship buried at Short Sands Beach. The department says occasionally a storm moves enough sand for the ship to be seen, and this time a lot of it can be seen, they're saying. According to the York Weekly, archaeological work done in the 80s showed the wreck could be from around the time of the Revolutionary War. It was first seen back in 1958, last seen in 2013. Meanwhile, Maine expected to get hit with another nor'easter this Wednesday. That storm could bring over a foot of snow and rain possibly in that area. What's the secret to a long life? Matilda Kershia
Whiskey.
Booze, yeah.
Well,
I hope not.
Matilda Kershia has a very specific recipe. Kershia lives in San Francisco. She's 101 years old. She says that she has 1 beer and 3 potato chips every night before she goes to bed. she credits that.
Looks like you need to adjust your.
That reminds me of somebody who has a glass of milk and 2 cookies, and then retires for the evening.
I haven't had Chips Ahoy for quite a while. I switched to fruit.
Oh, how euphorian of you.
Yeah, that is very delicate.
She told the station in San Diego, I have
Some
no
grapes with some apple slices.
I have no pain, and I do my exercises every day. I have my beer, and I eat my potato chips. That's about all it takes.
3 stinking chips.
That's my problem. I've never just had 1 beer, and I've never just had 3 chips.
It's tough for me to just have a beer and 3 chips.
That would be tough.
Matthew's recipe: 15 beers, 4 bags of chips.
Right.
Folks who have lived for 100 years or more consistently report alcohol is a part of the reason. Florence Beards from Maine turned 100 last year. She loves wine. She credits wine with keeping her alive. 105-year-old Jack Reynolds credits whiskey, which he drinks in his tea every morning, and it is lemonade every evening.
No, and this is a serious question. Do you think it's not the effect of the alcohol on your body, but rather the effect of the alcohol on your brain? It makes everything and all the idiots around you more tolerable.
Absolutely.
That's
So there's
got to be what
not
it
as
is.
much stress.
Yeah.
is what you're
Makes
saying?
other people
Sure.
interesting.
Yes.
That's one way to put it. One way to put it. Although studies do find if you drink in moderation, that actually could lower your chance of a heart attack or stroke. But that'd be 2 or 4 drinks in a night.
Wait, so I can have 2 or 4?
That's what it said.
I'll take 2.
I'll take 2.
Some nights I'll take 4.
In Florida.
Resuming his news in the TCL broadcast studio.
You know, we never followed up about Mr. Petty's death.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Did you hear
We did that off the air?
Yeah, we did that off the air the other day. I don't know if you saw, Joe. Did you see the follow-up?
Was it an opioid problem?
It was an opioid overdose, yes. Yeah, he had been taking all sorts of fentanyl and even a fentanyl form of it that's not allowed in the U.S. Legally in any way. Apparently, he had been on tour with that broken hip that he didn't want to get fixed. He wanted to instead perform. So, but anyway, yeah, the follow-up.
John, this seems to be an issue in the music business.
Yeah.
Guys dying of overdoses.
Yeah.
Stop dancing.
Is it any, and I don't mean this as funny as it's going to sound, is it any better if it's that kind of overdose as opposed to saying a recreational drug overdose? I don't.
I just read a piece
think
by
so.
Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Who it was actually intelligently written. He's been clean for 20 years, and he was given opioids, and he blames a great deal of this on the medical profession. Quit giving these things to people. Tell them you're going to hurt for a while.
No, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. All right.
Royce, you went through this, and you didn't seem to have any issues.
What?
Well, when you had surgery, you were higher than a monkey on crack.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I took a
and
little...
you kicked right away.
When I had the gallbladder, I
Yeah.
had to take a couple of pops of morphine, but just one. I didn't, I wasn't going to walk around in excruciating pain thinking I was going to turn into a drug addict, I just... if I can give up Tanqueray, I can give up anything, right? The nectar of the gods. It's the nectar. I gave up the nectar of the gods. What do you think? The legend is at the Last Supper,
Yeah.
they had wine in those jugs? No, they had Tanqueray.
I think you performed a little couple of magic tricks and said, "We're going Tanqueray here, boys. It's my last night."
JC said, "Try some of this stuff."
Yeah, wait till they get a load of this.
Yeah, right.
Researchers studying invasive Burmese pythons in Florida came upon something they'd never seen before. An 11-foot-long python had consumed an entire deer that weighed more than the snake itself.
Snakes will do that.
Wildlife biologists...
That's just gluttony.
That is.
That's,
Did it look like
that's
this?
over the top.
The
Don't show me, Barry. Don't show me. Although that is a python.
The wildlife biologist tracking the creature stumbled upon the bloated snake in Collier Seminoles.
Like Barry swallowed a deer.
In Collier Seminole State Park.
Or a couple of sandbags or something.
When they moved the creature,
So you didn't room with him. Got it.
yeah.
Got it.
it began regurgitating a white-tailed deer fawn.
Was it alive?
No. Biologist Ian Bartosek told the Naples Daily News the fawn weighed 35 pounds, the snake 31.5 pounds. Burmese pythons, which can grow nearly 20 feet long, brought to South Florida as pets in the late 70s. Of course, they become a problematic invasive species.
Yes, they have,
then.
Johnny.
Can you kill them?
Have.
Oh yeah, they got bounties on them.
Randy Wayne White just went on. He sent me a pic of a hunt that he went on.
Yeah.
He's just got a huge, because they're a problem because people take them as pets and then just release them into the wild.
He, he said hello to you two guys when I saw him here the other day. He didn't remember me, but he said hello to you two guys. So.
He said, nice to meet you?
He says, yeah, he said, nice to meet you. He said, because, Joe, and I hear Rookie do the impersonation of you. I said, yeah, okay, well, we've met about 5 times, Randy, but that's okay. Thank you.
You got the old Royce snub from him.
Yeah,
Yes, I got the big league snub.
Organizers of the Big Cheese Festival, that's the name of it, capital letters, Big Cheese Festival in England, apologizes to attendees after running out of cheese.
Had one job.
Oh, no.
The organizers were inundated with complaints on social media after the Saturday event unexpectedly ran out of the cheese, despite promising, quote, a plethora of the finest international cheesemakers and mongers showcasing their amazing cheeses.
I'd like a good cheese event.
What about
and
Velveeta? Did they run out
Brits,
of Velveeta?
Those Brits can make some cheese, too. It's fantastic.
Didn't you, Joe? Isn't that the place where you bought the wheel? Didn't you buy a big wheel of
I
cheese?
bought a wheel of cheese once.
Yeah.
It was about $75.
Yep.
Organizers sent a Facebook post.
Enough cheese for a month.
Still
2
have it, I
years.
think.
Still eating it. Still eating
I
the
don't
wheel.
understand what's wrong with a simple brick of Velveeta. What the hell's wrong?
Plenty. There's
Bunch
plenty
of
wrong.
snobs.
First of all, it's not cheese. That'd be starter.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Organizers said in a Facebook post that the weather prevented some cheese vendors as well as some performers of other types from attending the event. They said, we take great pride in what we do, and we take the opinions of our customers seriously, and we apologize.
Cheese comedians, or what? What do you mean performers?
No, they had live comedy, local bands, and DJs performing. You ready for this? A selection of jazz, funk, and R&B.
And then they also featured
R&B.
They also featured movie clips that involved cheese.
Okay.
You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? Tell them, Vincent.
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. You know why they call it that?
Because of the metric system?
Check out the big brain on bread.
Oh, God, I love that movie. Some not-so-smart folks in Houston. The Houston Police Department says one man was shot and killed by a party-goer after he decided to put on a bulletproof vest. Police were called at 1:30 in the morning.
Nothing good happens at 1:30.
After reports of a deadly shooting in the Heights in the city of Houston. According to investigators, about 6 to 8 people were at the residence for a party. Authorities say one man decided to put on a bulletproof vest while one of the partygoers fired a shot at him. Houston Police Detective Homicide Sergeant Mark Holbrook said it's unusual that people would put on bulletproof vests and play with guns at a party, but these things happen sometimes. Police are working to locate the person who shot the victim and and another male to determine more about the incident.
Is that God just weeding out the dummies? Is that what that is?
Did it go through the vest, John?
Investigators, Joe, are waiting on forensics to figure out whether the bullet went through the vest or somehow skipped in between.
Well, how far
another
away
area.
were they? I mean,
That I don't know.
probably point blank range. Hey, before I go, I heard a joke over the weekend, and I've been waiting all weekend to tell Such this joke. Joe, what do they call dogs in Alaska?
Dogs.
Chili dogs.
Why were you waiting to tell me that? That was pathetic.
Because I knew it would piss you off.
Chili dogs.
Chili dogs. I kind of like that.
And with that, I'll step away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's a 3-year-old in America who wouldn't laugh her ass off.
Right.
I'm going to tell that to the kids when I get home.
You can tell that to the grandkids,
Yeah.
Pat. That's a good one.
Right.
A stinky problem in New Mexico. Skunk smell is plaguing the town of Hagerman, New Mexico.
I like a skunk smell.
Do you?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
I like it from a distance.
Yes,
yeah,
I
when you're
do.
driving.
I like skunks.
Why
How
is it
about
smelling
you?
like skunks?
This is because of the mild winter that's bringing all
Are you
of
sure
this,
it wasn't weed?
all the skunks out early. Viola Badcock, the owner of Hagerman Township Animal Shelter, said the animals are hanging in town and generally are not healthy. She says the stink is a growing problem. Hagerman Police Patrolman Adam Chavez says officers are setting up traps around town. Healthy skunks caught in the traps will be relocated on the east side of town near a local river.
All right, very good, Johnny.
Thank you.
What's coming up, Patrick?
Oh, hey, Bob Herrig, who's the ESPN golf columnist, will be with us about 4:15 or so, and I'm going to talk to Collar about, he has a piece today on the website about the quarterback situation, and, of course, what we always have on Monday, Manny's 4 deep thoughts from the weekend, which will kick off the show at 4 o'clock.
Manny better not have a deep thought about the combine. They're not worthy of deep thoughts.
Boy, they're on 24 hours a day, though, if you're clicking channels.
I know it. I saw some of it by accident. I couldn't believe it.
Quite a phenomenon, though, the one-handed linebacker who runs faster than any linebacker they've had in 20 years.
Yeah, and he's the guy lifting weights, too, right?
Yes, he's fantastic. So, anyway. But, that's it. We got that. And it's another, we'll give a few updates on George Toma's raking, too. He's down there going like crazy on this off day, too. So.
All right, 1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's 35 degrees. The snow is still expected. Dave Dahl has put out the call that later drive time rush hour could be problematic. Snow on the way.